Hello, I am the Flawless Walrus, and welcome back to another Death Battle reaction, this time to Miles versus Deku. And I didn't get a prediction out for this one, but that's in part kind of because I didn't really have enough to say about it, because it's not that close. Speed might be close, but like, man, Deku just kind of mollywomps here. Part of the issue is that we literally, we just had a My Hero Academia character where there's zero reason for what's in that episode with Mahito versus Shigaraki. There's zero reason for them to not just use the same values that they got to with him, what, like 3-4 episodes ago? And Miles is just not keeping up with those numbers. Like, they gave Shigaraki, like, I think continent level, multi-continent, something like that. So the problem is that Miles can only really hurt Deku potentially with the one, like, Venom Shock move, and him using it to stop someone's heart is something that he doesn't really do very much. Like, it's not actually like a go-to move for him, and it is drastically more likely that Deku simply lands one hit and the fight's just done there. So ultimately, I think Deku takes this one. From what we've seen of the animation, though, it looks very good. Like, they've been doing really great styles and such with all these episodes. And just every episode kind of feels unique. So, we've got about 44 seconds left on the clock, and we will get to the episode. As for attachment to either series, I enjoy the Spider-Verse movies quite a bit. I haven't watched MHA, as I think I mentioned back in the Mahito vs. Shigaraki episode. Not particularly attached to it as a series, but ultimately, I find it decently fun to watch. Watch at least the death battles for it, because like their powers are fun. It kind of has that like quality where every character has some degree of uniqueness to them, kind of like X-Men in that way, which is actually why I think that X-Men and My Hero Academia works well as a combo.
Miles Morales versus Izuku Midoriya.
Spider-Man versus Deku. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So how is this gonna... They were being very friendly in the...
Alright, let's take this from the top again. This is Peter Parker.
They were being very friendly in the preview, so I'm wondering how it's gonna turn into a death match.
A friendly neighbor to all of New York City. In a universe filled with super soldiers, hulking green Goliaths, and world-shattering gods, Spider-Man is there to look out for the little guy.
But in a multiverse of infinite possibilities, that doesn't always last forever. Like in Universe 1610, when NYC's Webhead got iced on the job.
The city was left without its protector. But fortunately, Peter wasn't the only one who got bit. Enter Miles Morales, a young teen from Brooklyn just trying to figure out his place in the world. And now,
really emulating the Spider-Verse style.
A canon event to start all canon events. Now it was Miles' turn to be the hero the Big Apple knew.
Herald of Anansi.
He had all the usual spider kit to help him out.
This spider carried the Oz formula, a genetic
GameSpot? He dislikes GameSpot? Okay.
Strength, speed, and the ability to alter his body's electron attraction to crawl along any surface.
And you can't forget that classic spider sense, an internal warning system that lets Miles know about incoming threats so he can react ahead of time. He even got an upgrade that acts like a radar, letting him see through stuff.
But no Spider-Person is complete without their web shooters. Given to him by Peter's Aunt May, these webs have all sorts of applications between swinging, grabbing, restraining, projectiling, and being made into constructs.
Not having Peter around.
It is weird how they twist and basically like get around things sometimes in a weird way. It's fun.
Like any typical teenager, he had a lot of self-doubt. Could he keep up in school? What was the right way to talk to girls?
How could he live up to being Spider-Man when one of the villains he had to face turned out to be his very own uncle? Makes family dinner so awkward. All that trying to kill you stuff.
Fortunately, Miles had a leg up on every other superhero known to man.
A good father.
Parents.
Yeah.
Better yet,
Oh, that too.
loving parents. They supported him when things got tough, even if they didn't always see eye to eye. And thanks to them, he learned
His parents are
the best
great.
way to be Spider-Man wasn't to do it like Peter, but to do it his own way.
And it helped that this particular spider had a bit more to its bite than Peter's. Miles has a variety of unique powers, like invisibility and venom.
Not like Tom Hardy, though it is weird to give your main power the same name as one of your bad guys.
Yeah.
Come on, Spidey.
That's a
Branding
weird
is
one.
important.
Miles can harness his own bioelectric energy and weaponize it, which is especially effective against individuals with genetic mutations.
Punching, absorbing, blasting.
Theoretically should work on
And
Deku
making
fine.
electric constructs out of this stuff, like biowebbing and a damn sword. Jeez, what kind of spider was this?
It's not entirely science fiction. Studies have shown that certain species of spiders, such as the Linnaeus, have a process known as ballooning. By spinning a thread of their
Yep,
silk,
sure.
they can use the Earth's natural electric fields to fly, traveling up to hundreds of miles.
Fucking
Well, whatever kind of bite it was.
terrifying to
Miles
think
the
about
man
flying
needed to
spiders in
his
real
work
life.
as Spider-Man.
Miles can dodge gunshots, missiles, and lightning bolts. He survived all sorts of beatings, including a building exploding on top of him.
Oh, gee, Spidey could lift buildings and dodge light speed attacks, and Miles is more than a match for him.
Like the time he absorbed the energy of a bomb that was going to vaporize Harlem. A blast that would have equaled 15 million tons of TNT.
He's
Yep.
getting kudos for
That's
a ton of
big
older
city
heroes,
level.
too, becoming a member of the New Ultimates and the Avengers. He even helped form the Champions, a team of teenage superheroes with the likes of Miss Marvel and Ironheart.
The king of Wakanda himself even suited him up with some Wakandan vibranium.
The same.
Oh, yeah, this was one of the
Skeleton
notable
suit. This
things people were talking
super
about.
Metal can absorb kinetic energy and vibrational impacts.
It helps to regulate Miles's venom powers too, allowing him to better control his electrical output.
The vibranium is thinner to better fit his acrobatic fighting style, but it can still shake off most fatal attacks like they're nothing. This stuff is tough enough.
Weird that they specify that, but T'Challa is plenty acrobatic anyway.
And enough kinetic energy will overload it.
Don't be
Yeah.
near it when it does, or you'll end up like the Falcon here when he used his vibranium wings to stop a bomb that was gonna blow up New York City. That's twice now. Does any other city have to deal with this stuff?
But when vibranium and spider powers still aren't enough, Miles can push his electrical output into overdrive.
Giving him huge boosts in strength and speed, and making him a whole lot zappier. It's your classic shonen power-up, and he knows it too. He's a bit of a weeb, and has a thing for mimicking some favorites.
Despite his
Fucking
initial
Chidori.
insecurities, Miles has more than managed to live up to his predecessor. No longer standing in his shadow, but side by side.
Literally, his universe got blown up, and he was sent to the main 616 timeline, along with his family. And now it's him and
Oh, the
Peter
family
as a
got
pair
spared.
of
I didn't know that,
Spider-Friends.
actually.
He's even become one of the big players of the Spider-Verse, teaming up with all sorts of other spider variants to defend the multiverse.
Save the web of life.
Anime
It's
spider
vague.
people, robot spider people,
Not really a
dinosaur
stat
spider
one.
people, spider people, a whole lot of them, each with their own way of getting the job done. Miles even led him into battle against the Inheritors, a bunch of interdimensional vampire assholes.
This is
Yeah.
what Stanley was proudest of in his favorite superhero. Regardless of who they were, any sort of person could wear the mask and do the right thing. For so long as we stay true to ourselves and help others in our own unique ways, then anyone can
Oh,
be.
Hobie's so fucking cool.
But what is a hero? To the
Nah,
citizens of Japan,
right out, right, they're
there
saying
was no
spoilers for the
one
ending.
with the word than their symbol of peace. All Might.
The big numero uno. With a smile on his face, he could save anyone and win any fight, no matter what.
Or so it seems.
It's also notable that was a pretty interesting transition where they kind of went very immediately from one to the next with a line, too.
Coming to an end, and he would need to find someone to pass on the torch.
In this world, most human beings evolved to have their own individual superpowers, or quirks, but not everyone is lucky enough to get one. Like this kid named Izuku Midoriya, or as local bully Bakugo like to call him, the good-for-nothing Deku.
Izuku wanted to save people just like
He's
All Might,
24.
but even his idol told him that he would have to give up on his dreams.
Forever the beta male in the shadow of Bakugo and his Sigma quirk, until he got the chance to alpha up and lend his rival a helping hand. proving himself worthy of All Might's torch.
And so, after months of training, Izuku was granted All Might's quirk, One for All. This power allows him to boost his strength to incredible heights.
At least he's not fucking like breaking his limbs anymore.
Specific U.S. locales and a soccer club,
or football as they call it.
Straight punches, spikes, even finger flicks. One for All is the ultimate in strength-enhancing quirks.
The first time he used it, Izuku destroyed this giant robot in a single blow on accident. Too bad it wasn't the only thing he destroyed, though.
Broke his fucking
Damn,
arm.
that looks like it hurts.
One for All's power was so great that the recoil would shatter Izuku's limbs when he used it.
He got
In
better.
the hands of an improper vessel, One for All could cause their body to explode. So Izuku would need to continuously train to master it at his Hero Academia.
Say that again.
UA High.
Here he'd be inspired by girly pop Uraraka to turn his zero name into his hero name, becoming the Deku who always does his best.
Something that he may have taken too far.
When it came to saving people, Do Your Best here had a bad habit of putting others way before himself. Sure, everyone else was okay, but he'd be good for nothing all over again if he got himself paralyzed.
So to cut down on his hospital bill, he developed full cowling. Instead of using his quirk in short bursts, he would continuously spread the energy across his body at low percentages, using it for acrobatics inspired by Bakugo's explosive movements.
And with that new thinking came a new fighting style.
Yeah, Deku's probably smarter too, so I don't see Miles kind of thinking his way through it. And they didn't really go into as much of the like stopping the heart aspect of the Bioshock stuff.
All Might would be forced into retirement, just a few months into Deku's training. Now it was his turn to face this demon lord.
But he didn't have to do it alone. Just as All Might had
Yeah,
passed
the vestiges.
One for All onto Deku, it had been passed onto All Might by his master, and onto her by her master. One for All was a power that was built upon for generations.
The quirks of the previous users of One for All manifested in Deku, along with their spirits, or vestiges, to help him in his battle against All for One.
Black Whip gives him energy tendrils to swing around and restrain foes.
And to Spider-Man.
Manually control his muscles if he can't move.
Float allows him to soar high into the sky. By combining it with controlled blasts of pressurized air, he can effectively fly.
Danger Sense detects incoming threats and unease, letting Deku react in advance. Though it's mostly
Slider
like a
sense.
bell and doesn't tell him specifics like location or number of threats. Familiar?
Yeah.
Smoke screen lets him create a smoke screen.
That one's not going to be very useful.
Full blast, you create a bigger smoke screen.
That's swell,
Yeah.
but the real
That ain't doing
is
shit here.
barge in. After building up kinetic energy within his body, Deku can unleash it for bursts of strength and speed.
He's combined it with Black Whip to create the powerful Black Chain binding attack, and can use it in conjunction with full cowling to achieve foe 100%, equaling All Might's full level of power without any recoil.
He once used it to
Oh, very
outspeed
nice.
a bullet shot by Lady Nagant, a former hero turned villain who has a sniper rifle for an arm with a...
It's his new wife. Yeah.
His bullet once crossed a distance of around 215 kilometers within a fraction of a second. That's 6,700 times faster than sound. And Deku was moving so fast, the bullet seemed like it was standing still.
And he can go even faster
Yeah.
than that with his final quirk, Gear Shift.
By touching a target, he can control its speed without abiding by the laws of inertia. He can slow down
Interesting.
foes to leave them frozen in the air, or move so fast he can punch multiple times in an instant.
Even All for One's own protege Shigaraki couldn't track him.
And he can,
the dude
yeah,
had
react to light. Okay, good.
high-speed laser beams.
It does have a time limit though. After 5 minutes of continuous use, Deku's body will catch up to his speed, suffocating him as his cells become unable to take in oxygen.
Not nearly as bad as One for All.
He's gotta land a hit, though.
He's been doing all of this shit in just the 10th grade. I hadn't even figured out you can breathe through your nose at that point.
The pressure of having to save his friends, the country, the entire world weighed on Deku, so he left UA to fight this war alone.
But alone was
That
never
was-
where Deku
that was a really
was.
short-term
Having come
arc.
From nothing, his admiration for his peers gave him strength, just as they admired his strength and desire to help others. Even Bakugo came around to him.
So when it came time to finally put that demon lord back in hell, his classmates, teachers, mom, friends, enemy, and everyone else supported and cheered him on. Because that was the greatest threat to All for One's reign all along.
Not All Might, not Deku, not even One
Unity?
for All itself. Just people helping each other out.
Yeah.
And with their help, Deku defeated All For One once and for all, blowing a hole in this huge storm and parting the skies for a brighter future.
Though he did
Very
lose
symbolic.
and have to retire from hero work, getting a regular 9 to 5 as a teacher, passing on his knowledge to the next generation, just like every user of One For All before him.
Some might say he peaked in high school.
Yeah.
If not for the sick new armor he eventually got to go back to kicking butt, he even made it all the way back near the top of the rankings.
All with the help of his friends. For so long as we keep reaching out our hands to help those in need, everyone can be a hero.
That was actually a very good analysis.
Hello,
Hi, Ben.
it's me, Store-Bought Benjamin. I know what you're asking.
Interesting way to word it.
What are you wearing?
Dummy thick.
Yes, that's our mechanical menace Mecha Goose pulling down the trunks of Poor Dummy. Our new summer
Why does-
line
why
of
does
merch
Dummy
is
have
available
pants?
now on
That's-
deathmetal.gg for a limited
Ah.
time. Website members can even get this in a unique color scheme. And there's a hat. I like that.
That's a nice hat too.
I know what else you're
Yep.
asking. Benjamin, why did Wiz build robot butt cheeks on Dummy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Get your cheeks at www.
I was actually going to mention the mustache more than anything, but you know.
All right,
Yeah.
the combatants are set, and we
They
go to
didn't
the
go
dance
into
floor.
shit for
Time for
my Deku's AP, so we'll go into that later.
Yo! You're more man and less spider than usual.
Whoa, I was looking for you. Care to show me what you can do?
Alright, new guy. First lesson? Don't watch the mouth. Watch the hands.
Now watch mine, Delaware!
So I guess they're going with the spar opener.
Let's try that one more time.
Yep, Vibranium's holding up so far.
Guess who?
This looks great.
Gotta take this somewhere else. Oh, gross!
You got skills, man. I like that. Mierda.
I moved us to
Nice.
an abandoned part of the city so we can go all out.
Nice.
Because I always do my best.
See, and that gives them a lot of opportunities to do dodgy shit.
If I'm gonna do my best, I gotta do my own thing.
Hell yeah.
Sarah was right. Your quirk is amazing.
Amazing is my buddy. They call
Ah.
me the ultimate Spider-Man.
His suit has shock absorption, not nullification. So, it's got a limit.
Oh, kind of like the Nomu in that way. That's funny. I'm pretty sure that's specifically what they just referenced.
Saito. Death Bang!
Go beyond.
There's gear shift. Thought you were stronger.
Spider-Man,
Oh, switching to manga for the end.
you really are the ultimate.
That was cool. Good one. Expected result, but good one.
Adios, Aranya Hoven.
Let's start by talking about their superpowers, which matched up quite evenly.
Yeah, so many of them.
Not so subtle inspiration for Deku's quirks, though they did have some edges over the other.
The spider sense gave Miles more insight on his surroundings and threats than danger sense, which has been worked around before.
This meant Miles' invisibility was
not worked around
danger sense to detect when he
in a
wasn't
way
detected.
that is relevant
Spider
here.
Sense's radar system allowed him to find Deku in a smokescreen, but Izuku's other quirks granted him advantages of his own.
Float was a lot more mobile than Webs, and
Yeah.
Fa-Jin gave a bigger boost in strength than Venom did. Since both had some advantages and disadvantages, we're gonna call superpowers a tie.
Next up,
I guess.
speed. Scaling to Peter, Miles could dodge light speed attacks, which actually
Electrical
upped
attacks from
Izuku moving
Shigaraki
faster
and
than
9.
Silverbolt. Fortunately for Deku, though, that wasn't his best.
Thanks to Gear Shift, Deku could speed himself up to match Miles the same way he did to the light-catching Shigaraki. Even
Yeah.
worse for Spidey, one touch from Gear Shift could freeze him in place and make dodging totally impossible. So speed goes to Deku.
As for skill, Deku was incredibly talented at analyzing an opponent's
Mm-hmm. They didn't bring up the
ability
Mjolnir
and
feat.
coming up with
Interesting.
solutions on the fly.
But Miles' powers and fighting style gave Deku few immediate openings.
Deku may have received more formal training at UA, but he was ultimately only active in hero work for a little under a year.
Meanwhile, Miles has been
That's fair.
handling everything from neighborhood crooks to
Though he is
multiverse
older
gods for
afterwards, so
significantly longer.
It's close, but with his greater experience, skill goes to Miles, and that means the biggest deciding factor is raw strength.
And that was no contest.
Yeah.
Miles absorbing the energy of that bomb was nothing to scoff at, but overwhelming power is what One for All is all about.
When Deku defeated All for One, the energy needed to part those clouds with his punch had a yield of 362 billion tons of TNT.
I mean, they could also have. I'm pretty sure the Island Storm
Miles is wearing a
one
vibranium suit after all. So the question wasn't
would have
necessarily
been higher.
who was stronger. It was if Miles' suit was tough enough to continuously absorb Deku's blows.
When the Falcon protected New York from that city-destroying blast, it had a yield of 546 megatons. Impressive,
And still killed
but
him.
Deku defeating All for One was still over 600 times stronger than Vibranium's limit.
And Deku did that with One for All's embers, not the full package.
And remember,
True.
the Vibranium in Miles' suit was much thinner than what Falcon and Black Panther had, making it unlikely it could absorb as strong of a blast.
It's there to provide more protection, sure, but there was no way it
Yeah.
could survive all of what Deku could dish out.
In this superpowered battle, it was Izuku's overwhelming speed and immense strength that made him the winning hero.
And the morales of the story is...
Ah.
The winner is Deku.
Nice.
Next
Solid
time
pun.
on Deku.
What do we got? Hulkzilla? Had a feeling. It was either going to be that or Ruby versus Maka. Oh, this is going to be a hell of a discussion. This is one that there's definitely worth
Thanks for watching.
doing a full prediction for. And that, as they say, is that. Thank you so much for watching. That was a pretty good episode. Good analyses. The animation was very good, and the next time, very much one to. I got no clue where it's going to go. I've heard pretty solid arguments both ways, so we'll see what ends up happening for that one. Thank you so much, and have yourself a good one.